Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, it is 2025, and apparently winter is coming.
Yeah, man, it is. Is it supposed to keep getting colder?
Yeah, next week's going to be, we're going to have, I don't know that we have many days where we don't get above freezing, but I think our highs are going to be right around freezing for several days.
Oh, wow.
Lows down in the teens.
Dang, and deer season closes in like 3 days.
Yeah.
I like hunting in the cold.
I'm hoping it'll, which we've had a decent duck season so far. It hasn't been terrible by any stretch, but I'm hoping this really gets things right for the last, 3 or so weeks of duck season.
Shit, I still ain't gone. I ain't gone. I was trying to think how many years now. It's been at least 5 years, I don't think, since I've even gone.
All right. And I'm looking at the forecast now. Monday through Wednesday, our lows are like 18, 19, 21, something like
Pretty
that.
chilly.
Highs right around freezing there for about the first 3 days next week. Well, even Thursday, Friday, it's 32, 34, 36 are our highs.
Okay,
So, yeah,
that's going to be pretty chilly.
it's going to be chilly next week. Not brutal.
No rain, though.
but chilly. Well, we got a ton of rain coming in Sunday. Like has potential to get. I actually just watched a kind of one of those detailed forecasts a little while ago on YouTube. So there's a big front moving across the country. We're looks like going to be in the safe zone as far as not getting any snow and ice.
Yeah.
Just a little north of us, they're going to kind of be right on the
Verge.
Well, they're going to get the ice, and then you get like a little north of them, like around St. Louis, and some places might get up to a foot of snow.
Ooh, Lord.
But it looks like we're going to get some rain, but I guess it's going to be warm enough here. There's potential we could have some nasty storms. I think most of the really severe
like tornado
storms, tornadoes are a little further south of us. So we might be kind of in the perfect spot. We're not going to be far enough north to get into the ice.
Maybe not quite south enough for the tornadoes.
Yeah, we may just get a lot of rain, which is will be lovely, raining and cold.
Man, I know, dang it, because see, I got to get our studio moved, and I called the guy today. We haven't set up anything yet, but it's been so wet I haven't called, and it's just now starting to get a little dry. I actually need to go run a track hoe. I got a lot of crap I need to do.
The ground might be good and hard by the middle of next week.
Yeah,
get out here. I'd say by about Wednesday or Thursday, get it done early in the morning before it has a chance to thaw.
Yeah.
Ground should be pretty good and hard.
Well, I need to move. I need to see when he can get out here. Before we get in too deep, we got a couple things we need you to do. First, you need to leave us a rating and a review. Guys, it's 2025. We got to hit some new heights. That's what this episode, as we always do at the end of the year, beginning of the new year, we do our goal kind of breakdown. And I won't get into the goal yet, but just leave us a rating and a review. Leave us a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Let us know what you think of the show, anything you'd like for us to cover. Go to talkdirtpodcast.com and go to the contact page and submit your questions on there. We will get to your questions. We got a few right now. I like to let it build up so we can do like a full episode on Q&A.
Yeah.
But go on there and submit them. And what else do they need to do?
Check out agzaga.com. Use that discount code, TalkDirt, all caps, all one word. I just ordered some net wrap this week.
Well, you're getting a head start.
Well, they were running some specials. I think they may have been all the net wrap was 8% off. Then I got an additional 10% off because I used that discount code. Picked up a few other little essentials, just the essentials.
Just the essentials, some underwear. That thong, did they get the thong in yet?
I didn't even search for, the underwear.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, as a man that, I just don't wear underwear.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Hey,
just commando all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I'll never forget this. And this man is now, he is gracing the heavenly realms, but old Timmy Kenny, he was hilarious. If anybody listening, I know we got some local guys listening, you probably know who he is or know who he was. Timmy was hilarious. Bad to the bone welder. I think I've mentioned him before on here.
Yeah, yep.
He was the baddest welder I've ever seen. And he unfortunately passed away, I guess last year or year before. But I'll never forget, man. I used to hang out with him all the time because when he rented the shop out, up there. And I, at the time I was like 17 years old, 18 years old. It was out like in the summer. And I would just go up there. Man, I'd stay up there because Timmy would come in at 12 o'clock. Like, normal guys, they go to work 7, 8 o'clock. They leave at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. Timmy, he would show up at 12 and he would leave at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And so that was perfect for like a teenager. I'd go up there and hang out, and you never knew what kind of drama and crap was going to be going on. And I just never forget, it was like super hot. And I can't remember how it even came up. Ricky is another dude that was there that hung out. Timmy had like an array of friends that were hilarious. But Ricky said something like, "Nah, man, she going to see your underwear or something." Timmy was like, "I don't wear no underwear." And I said, "Oh, hell." And he said, "No, I don't wear underwear." And I said, "You really don't wear underwear?" And he's like, "No, I ain't never worn underwear." I was like, damn, I couldn't imagine not wearing underwear. And I mean, and he worked in the heat.
I guess depending on what kind of pants you're wearing and what kind of work you're doing, you get a lot of chafing.
Hell, he wore blue jeans.
Well, yeah, it'd be some chafing.
That's what I'm saying, man. And it'd be like, I'm thinking of our summers, and I've seen There's Something About Mary. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah,
when he zips his dick up in the.
Oh yeah, I've seen that movie many times. That's one thing. Yeah, just protection from your zipper. Yeah,
I'd be scared to zip my pants. Yeah, but yeah. Timmy, God rest his soul, he was a commando man.
He was a character for sure.
He was.
But yeah, I did not know he was a commando man. I guess guess I learned something new.
Yes. Yep. What are you drinking?
Jefferson's Ocean.
Okay. Gotcha. Which one?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Just the
standard.
Yeah, I think just the standard Jefferson's Ocean.
Yeah.
Like 80 proof.
I was gonna say about 80 proof. Yeah, that's what I got. The Cowboy blended whiskey.
Yeah,
it's a good, good sipper. It's a versatile one. You could mix it or sip it.
Do you taste the honey and tobacco with splashes of caramel and white pepper?
Let's see. I might vaguely taste the honey.
Yeah.
But when you get to those other notes, I'm like, how does anyone know that? How do they differentiate that? Like when I watch somebody take a drink of something, they're like, it's a hint of chocolate and cherry and some. It's kind of nutty. Like I don't understand. I don't have that kind of a distinct palate.
It tastes like whiskey.
That's how I am. Like it tastes like bourbon. I taste vanilla kind of because that's just what bourbon tastes like. Bourbon is a vanilla drink. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good stuff. All right, well, I guess like we did so I actually, this time I was more prepared. Last year I did not go back and listen to our previous one. I listened to our previous episode, our previous goal setting, which came out in like, I think we did it like right before Christmas.
Yeah. Or no, it was right before New Year's.
Okay, it was our last episode of 23.
Yeah, we did our 24 goals.
Yeah,
I went back and listened to, or at least listened to the part where we were detailing that. I think it was last Friday night. I was driving to Arkansas to duck hunt.
Gotcha.
I was like, yeah, I'll listen to this. I need to get all that lined out. So,
well, you go ahead. Recap. Let's recap our 24 goals. Let's say yay and hey, kind of give our thing on that, and then you do your 25 goals, and then I'll go.
Okay, so for my 24 goals, I wanted to roll 400 rolls of hay. That was my goal. Is like get at least 400 rolls of hay put up. I hit it exactly.
Hey, there you go.
Like exactly, the last hay that I cut was our buddy Tim's, our bourbon sponsor at his house, and it was.
That's the one where you got like 8 bales off of all of it?
No, it was like 3.
3, yeah.
But that literally put me
right where you needed to be.
So I was like, man, this was not even worth cutting. Except it got me to my year-end goal. Kind of on that subject, I'd wanted for this current hay feeding season to make it to January 1 having fed less than 35% of my hay that I had put up. So, which I think that'd be like.
Hey, I do got to jump in real quick.
Yeah.
We do need to tell everybody, everybody's seen this, but we do want to tell you, everyone, because we got some Louisiana guys that listen to the podcast. Definitely thinking about everybody down in New Orleans and all that. Our prayers are with everyone. That's crazy. Some crazy crap. New Orleans, and then the freaking Cybertruck dude and all that crap. it's been a wild couple of days. So
Yeah.
definitely praying for everybody. I had some friends that were down there, like
In
they
New
were
Orleans.
there where it happened. They just had gone in. Like they said, they went to their hotel room like 15 minutes before it happened.
Man.
So
yeah.
it's nuts, man. Like, yeah, definitely thinking about everybody involved in that and all the families.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No sense in all that.
No.
But
So, all right, sorry.
well, no. So one of my other goals was I wanted to be at 35% or less of my hay fed by right now. So still have at least 65% left to get me through really what is now winter.
Well,
Which that would be 140 rolls. 140 rolls is 35% of 400. I think I fed 132.
Hey.
So I was right at 32%, like dead on. I was like, all right.
well,
So-
you're off to a good start.
So I hit those two. Now, I had another goal to be, which I thought I was going to have stocker steers this last year, or, in 24. We ended up doing heifers, but I wanted 2% death loss or less. We didn't have any death loss, not on our stockers. So hit that
0.
one. So then, kind of also on the stockers, I wanted a average daily gain, grazing them out, to be 1.75 pounds.
That's where you get sad.
Well, which we ended up with the heifers, which they're not going to gain nearly as good, but the heifers actually gained so poorly. I'm confident saying even if they had been steers, I still wouldn't have hit that goal. So,
Yeah.
got some things we're going to change up for this next year, I think, to try to help on that one. Because, I think a lot of, you want me to go ahead and do my goals for this year, or you want to go through yours for 24?
No, go ahead and do yours.
So my goal, I didn't get super creative for this year. Maybe not as much as I should have, because I kind of like those goals.
Yeah.
So
you're going to maintain those same goals?
Well, I think on my hay production, it wouldn't take much for me to really bump that up, be a little better with my fertilizing, and if I can get in there and get
so what's a number?
450.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I was going to say 700.
No, and I mean, at first I was going to say 500, but then I'm like, I don't even need that much hay, which I guess I could always sell some.
Yeah.
The hay market's usually, when you've got extra hay to sell, so does everybody else.
Yeah.
And so the hay market's not great. And then, of course, years where you don't have a lot of extra hay, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're needing to buy it. So, so I'm not really looking to get into the hay selling market. But yeah, so I said 450 rolls of hay. Same thing as far as 35% or less, which if I roll a whole lot more, I could probably even make that goal a little more lofty and say 25%, 20% even. I didn't hit that 1.75 pounds of average daily gain, but I'm going to throw that one back out there, because one, I'm pretty sure we're going back with steers this year. At least that's my plan as of right now. And I think I have, just through experience and doing some more research, some things we're going to do a little different to try to make graze for a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
So they're not going to gain as much, in totality, because we're not going to have them for as many days. But that average gain, I'm going to see if we can get to that 1.75.
Yeah.
And then, the 2% death loss or less, I think that's still a pretty acceptable number. And then outside of just specifically the farm, on my YouTube, I want to hit 75,000 subscribers.
Where are you at right now?
I'm at like 40,000.
Yeah.
So nearly doubling, which, I mean, it's taken me like 4 years to get to 40,000. And so, but YouTube's such a weird.
But now you're rolling, so I feel like you ought to be able to do that.
Well, at my current pace, I won't.
Yeah.
I can look at my analytics. I'm gaining like, 1,000 a month or something. No, not even that much. Last month I've gained almost 700. So,
Yeah.
But it's weird. YouTube's weird. You just need 1 or 2 videos to really just kind of go viral, I guess is the terms the kids like to use. And all of a sudden you can pick up just 15, 20,000 subscribers, in just the blink of an eye. So I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to put that one at 100 because 100 is a huge milestone there. But I feel like at 75, that would basically be doubling. And if that also doubled the little bit of revenue I'm making off of it, I'm finally getting to the point where I'm like, okay,
Making it worthwhile.
it's worth it. Like the time and money that I put into it is really more time than money. is worth it if I can get to that point.
Yeah.
Because I still have some days where I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna do YouTube anymore. I mean, all the time I'm just like, you know, because
people don't understand the time in editing and things that it takes. The filming part is not so bad, but it's the editing.
It's not so bad, but sometimes, some days I'm like, because I'm committed to doing 2 videos a week right now, and so it's like, you know, when I do have a day where I'm like going to be out on the farm all day, but I'm not carrying the camera with me,
something cool is going to happen.
Well, you do worry about that, which of course you always have your phone you could film with, but it's like, you know, I just get to focus on just getting shit done. I don't have to worry about, hold on, let me go put this camera over here so it can, you know, film this and you know, whatever. So I don't know. At that point, if I got to 75,000 and you know, which I mean, I'll be honest with people, I make like $600-700 a month. You know, but if I was doubling that, I'd feel like, okay, you know, it's like I'm paying a note on my tractor with that.
Yeah.
That's enough money to cover that once a month, you know, things like that. Right now, it kind of covers my feed bill. I kind of look at it like, okay, that's about how much money I may be spending on feed. So anyway, but.
What about any, just a personal goal? You got any specific personal goal?
Man, I did not even.
Business on the clinic or anything?
So I do
gonna start doing cows in the clinic. I definitely
have some goals for the clinic. I don't know if I want to share them completely right here, but one really
raise prices.
You know, as sad as it's that's not a goal. That's a reality, though.
Yeah,
I mean that is a reality. I mean, it just is. But now I do have at least one in particular, pretty big one. I don't know. Got to get my business partners on board, and we'll go from there. Well, personally, no,
I got to find out. I got that. You've intrigued me. I'll ask you off air.
Fitness wise, you know, I don't have it. You know, I feel like I'm eating really good. I'm not working out or anything.
How's your A1C?
It's been staying down. If my little home meter can be trusted, but I don't know. No, like run a marathon or anything like that. So. Well, I need to think about that a little more, maybe. I doubt I'm going to put a marathon on there. I've done that one time, and that's a big.
No, you need to kick that shit and get on the lifting train.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never, even like in high school, we were playing football. I loved going to football practice and like playing ball. I just never loved the gym.
I hated football. I loved going to the gym.
See,
I just liked weightlifting. That's what I always wished that the school was, because some of the public schools would have like a weightlifting team, and that's what we didn't have that. And I always was like, damn, I wish we had a weightlifting team. That would have been fun. But I did eat some quinoa tonight. You ever eat quinoa?
I've had it on. Yeah, you had like a fancy restaurant.
It was a rice quinoa mix that I cooked with. I did some cast iron. I did some fillets in a cast iron. And all that. What I was going to do New Year's, and I couldn't find anything, so we ended up going to eat Mexican on New Year's.
Hell, I invited you over to my house.
I know. Well, I didn't have anything to grill.
Well, I didn't either until I went to the store.
There was nothing at the store. Where'd you go?
Nafy's.
I went to Nafy's. What time did you go?
I went like 11 o'clock that morning on New Year's Eve.
Oh, well, see, I went about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm all out of steaks, and I'm out of like even my wild game steaks. Got a bunch of ground meat, but I was like, hell no, it's New Year's Eve. We're going to grill some ribeyes. So.
Well, I was actually going to try the prime rib that you sent me. The recipe.
That recipe, yeah.
Yeah, because they had a prime rib at Nafy's, and I had seen it a few days before, and I was like, oh, they'll have some. So 2 o'clock, I'm like, all right. Well, we had done told the kids we were going to do a fancy little dinner at the house. And that's because you had texted me. And so I was like, well, Bobby Lee texted. And then even her mom had invited us too. And we were like, we're going to eat at the house. We're going to do steaks and all this. So I go to the grocery store, I go up here to Nafy's. There's no prime rib. And there's only some of those economy cut ribeyes. And I don't want no economy cut. Sorry.
They're not bad.
Are they not?
I mean, I'm not probably going to cook them like on an occasion like that, but I'll throw them like in a skillet and make like little breakfast steaks.
Are they tough?
No, I mean, not really. No,
okay.
And I mean, it's not like but like whenever I'm craving like, I'm going to eat steak and eggs.
You don't want to eat. Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And just like some little thin.
I was going to say, now I cook the little cheap $5 steaks with eggs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they didn't have them. So I called Marcy and I was like, they ain't got shit at the grocery store. And yeah, so at that point, we ran to the big China stores, what I call it, went over here to Kroger. They didn't have anything. They were like wiped out of everything.
Well, my buddy Lee, he had to go to Millington, the Southern Meat Market.
Really?
That's what he was like. Where'd you get? I was like, Navy still had a bunch of steaks out.
Yeah.
But I guess, hey, people were grilling beef. I'm glad to hear it.
Well, that's what we couldn't find anything. So I told Marcy, I said, we're gonna have to go eat. So we have to go to like Mexican. And she said, they'll be too crowded. And I said, no, they won't. Everybody's at home grilling steaks, apparently. And so we went to Mexican, and it was not that crowded. I'm like, yeah, everybody's at home grilling a steak.
Well, it's funny you say that because we almost, because, you know, not to bore everybody with all the details, but we were going to grill out with some friends. They had gotten sick, so I was like, crap. You know, Lee was like, my house is a wreck still from Christmas. I was like, mine is too. But I was like, that's fine. I like the idea of it being at my house. I don't have to worry about driving anywhere.
Yeah.
And so then, yeah, we had to clean like crazy. But at one point, he was like, let's just go eat Mexican.
It's easy. It's easy.
But
yeah, we probably could have done that because I had nothing to bring to grill. And I didn't want to bum a steak off of you. I didn't know if you even had any.
We actually had way too much food. Then he brought a whole bunch of shrimp. We had steak and shrimp and some boudin for appetizer.
Well, that's what Marcy was like, you want to just cook some shrimp or some salmon? And I was like, no.
No, man, you got to, when you're celebrating, you want some beef.
I do, yep. So I did. I had beef. I had Taco Rock. It had beef and shit in it at the thing. So, all right. So 2024 goals. The majority of mine revolved around the farm store. And we did make some advances in that and actually learned quite a few things that is shifting some of my goals from what I had said on the 2024 deal. For starters, I mentioned that kind of my goal for 2024 was to make the store be like a fresh produce grocery store, whatever's in season you can come get. I don't want to do that shit. In 2025, I've pretty well figured out, that's not what I want to be. You know, we planted 250 tomato plants last year. We had squash and watermelons and all this. And I there's certain things I'm going to grow still. I'm still going to grow watermelons because I like the watermelons. I am going to drastically reduce the tomatoes. Tomatoes were a humongous pain in the ass, especially 250 of them. And I've figured out that really if you can take about 30 and really baby them and take good care of them, hell, you can make as many off of it as you could off of 200 that are mediocrely taken care of.
Yeah.
Dad's little super garden out here, which it's a super garden, but he had like 20 tomato plants. I'm pretty sure he got more tomatoes off of those than we got off of over 200 plants.
Yeah.
Now, we used them primarily for canning. And that was another thing I mentioned on there. I wanted to do a lot of canned goods. So I am scrapping the fresh grocery store. We're still going to sell sweet corn because that's a big draw item. We're still going to sell watermelon because I just like growing watermelon. But our big shift is going to be focusing on goods more so than produce. I want to make more. The sauerkraut, we're like tenfolding the sauerkraut because that was a badass selling item. Like, so much so that last year when it was selling, I told Marcy, I was like, shit, we're just going to sell sauerkraut. Like, forget everything else. We'll just start selling sauerkraut.
Just LH sauerkraut.
Yeah. Like, we're just going to go all in on the sauerkraut. And we are going to really, really double, triple, quadruple down on the sauerkraut for 25 because it did good. I mean, we made a bunch of canned goods. I'm going to say, as far as on those, we met those goals. On the agritourism thing, we didn't really meet that, I feel like, in 24, because we're still kind of figuring out, still learning a whole lot on there. That's something I want to really lean harder into in this coming year, or I guess this year we're into now. I want to go harder in the agritourism because, like, that, what's the name of that farm? White Oak Pastures. You know, I know he can get kind of weird sometimes, but he's got like the gift shop and all this stuff, and it like he brings people out and they do little events, and that's what these guys like. There's a guy in Mississippi. They got like 80 acres, And that dude makes a bunch of money, and it's just off of agritourism and bringing people out. They have like stuff for the kids to do, and they'll host events and all these things. That's the direction I want to push that in. You know, we had mentioned even Airbnbs eventually on there. I would like to eventually maybe do something like that. So going to push harder into that. And then the other one on here got increased cover crops. I met that goal pretty well. I think last year I had like maybe 600 acres in cover crop, and this year I got like 900 and something acres in cover crop. Now, if you drive by, there's no cover crop. Like I sowed the seed for 900 acres of cover crop, but it was so dry when we put it out that like barely any of it came up. So I tried to increase the cover crop. I met the goal as far as putting the seed down, but it didn't hardly come up. So that's some of the first ones. Now let me get into the ones where we didn't even get close. The first one, this one kind of, man, like hurt my feelings to hear me even say this. Equipment cost. I said my goal for equipment cost in 24 was to get it down to $50 to $60 an acre. Damn, what a pipe dream. Like, now I'm like, gosh, that would be wonderful, but I don't even know how in the hell I'd do it. Like, I'm like, ain't no way, unless I sold like everything I got except for 2 pieces. So I'm going to say, man, shit. For next year or going into this year, my goal would be to get it down to like $80 an acre. Yeah. On there. Let me see. Well, I don't have to write it down because I'll go back and listen to this. Yeah, I didn't even get close to that. I actually probably didn't. I don't think it adjusted at all. 200 or less on bean inputs. Now, didn't get that one either. This year, beans, I probably spent $272 an acre, I think was the amount I came up with. So definitely didn't hit that one.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, listening on there, I'm pretty sure I said I had spent $275 or something last year. So pretty much stayed right at the same. And I said tighter watch on budget. Now that one, I didn't hit those numbers on those other 2, but I actually sat down and made a binder, filled up a binder with like all these different breakdowns of crops and prices and inputs and budgets and this and that. And so I actually made some pretty heavy formulated budgets, which helped me realize pretty early on in the year when harvest began that I was not going to make enough money to cover my crops, cover my stuff. So I did do that. Sell the deer. I said sell one of my Tracos. That's the Deer 200D is the one I'd sell. I did not sell it. I am going to sell it. Like that's one that I'm going to sell because I mentioned on the show on that last one that I had come off of a pretty crappy year. I had a pretty bad year in 23. I just didn't make any money. But if I thought 23 was a bad year, 24 was an absolute ass whipping that I took. And so the deer is going to go. I'm selling the Deer 200. Haven't put it up for sale yet. I actually am going to try to do just a little bit of work with it and then shuck it. Bench and squat 405. That was one of my personal goals. What did I get to? My bench, I think I said on there that I was benching probably about 320 or 325 at the time. I think I was overestimating myself at the time. Right now I'm benching about 335, but I'm squatting. I could probably squat about 370. So I'm pretty close on the squats. So I'm leaving that as the goal for 25. I did not hit it, but I am confidently going to say that by this time next year, I will for sure be squatting 405, and I think I can be benching 405. So I'm going to leave those there. I may be squatting. I should be squatting more than that. I should be squatting about 500, but my back is an interesting thing. So, before I've got a podcast goal in here too. I'll share it after. So my 25 goals, the big one is, survive. I literally just wrote survive. So, I say that because, dude, we're in a, like, Bobby, I hate to keep I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm not going to keep telling y'all every episode how shitty things are in the ag sector, because that's just disheartening to constantly hear. And you guys are farmers, a lot of you that listen, like, you don't want to hear how shitty things are every time you tune in. But we are certainly in survival mode for I don't know how long, but trying to survive is my big goal for 25. I've talked to a bunch of guys. This makes me feel better. I've talked to a lot of guys that are like, I don't even know, if I have another year like that, I'm done. I'm out. I'm like, well, I'm glad to hear that. It's not just me. I did see where a guy who's a pretty big farmer, he had put up on Facebook or something that he was concerned with the way the ag sector has gone because a lot of guys are going to go broke. He said, he was like, we'll survive, but there will be a lot of people that won't. And I don't think he's wrong. I think it's dangerous to say we'll survive, but a lot of guys won't. Like, a lot of stuff can happen. So I'm trying to survive is my goal for 25. Left my bench and squat the same. And then my other is I put surpass farm income. And what I mean by that is I want off the farm income to become, I want to be non-reliant on my row crop income to make a living. So, we've talked about, we talk about the guys that have other jobs and other things. I mean, Bobby Lee, he's a vet and a cattleman. And that's really the direction I'm going in. And I don't know where it's going to be. I mean, I've been working on this audio book. Hopefully that goes well and I continue down that path. I'm like, hell, I'm gonna keep pushing because there's potential in a lot of other avenues. YouTube is one. People keep harassing the shit out of me. I don't know. I got to get back on there. I don't have any illusion that the YouTube's going to be. I mean, y'all heard like Bobby Lee talking about it. Like, it's not, unless you're one of the guys like Millennial Farmer who's got just an absolute shitload of viewers and even Millennial Farmer, he's tired of doing it. Like, yeah, we've talked to people that have told us like, man, Millennial Farmer, that dude is so burnt out on that shit. And so, I don't know, but that is my goal, is to get something going where I'm actually making a good living, not tied to agriculture. I want to, because then I'll actually, by doing that, it will allow me to kind of love farming again. I feel like, because when I'm so bogged down on the financial aspect of things, it takes a lot of it can put a big damper on you for sure. Because it's like, man, how can I keep doing this? And that's the conversation I had with a guy. Well, I don't want to give too many details away, but had a conversation with a guy today, and he's been in it a long time. He's been farming a long time, and he's super smart, and he's always kind of trying different stuff on the farm. And I saw where today he's like, man, I've really considered getting out. He was like, I've been really thinking about getting out of farming. And so I think, man, finding a way to make a good income off the farm that is actually my goal. And I hate that because I've made good money farming. In years past, I've done well. But things have changed a lot. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's kind of my rundown.
So what's one for the podcast? Because I was thinking about that too. I was like, we need podcast goals too. Which you look at more of the analytics, and I guess I could probably get access to that.
Yep.
Which I look at our listen notes and that sort of thing. As far as like total downloads and all, I mean, I don't know like how many total downloads we had for the year, but I mean, we're still growing enough and young enough in this that say we should double.
Oh yeah, we're just now, podcasting. In 24, we said we wanted to get to 500 ratings total. And at the time, we were at like 200 and something, because that's what we said on there. Today, we're at almost 600. So we surpassed the ratings.
Good deal.
So now, I think for this year, I think it's easy to say we need at least 1,000 ratings by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, podcasting, it is very much a slow game. People.
I mean, it's kind of like YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, which I mean, hell, a lot of the podcast is on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's one of our main avenues for getting out there to you guys.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people, I've told a lot of people, Joe Rogan, and I listen to his show quite a bit, but or from time to time, depending on the guest. But Joe, he's like tainted a lot of people's idea of a podcast and its downloads, and because you hear of him, his episode gets 30 million views an episode or something, 100 million views, I don't know. And so you're like, good God Almighty, our show, we're in the top like 1% globally on downloads. We don't even get a remote fraction of what Joe Rogan gets on downloads. Yeah. But now we get enough downloads, you don't kiss and tell, like I'll tell Bobby Lee, but we don't share our analytics. But I'll tell you this,
unless you're a potential sponsor.
That's right. If you want to sponsor us, we'll tell you everything. But I'll tell you, if we took all of our average episode downloads and we had to put all of those people in a room to watch us do a podcast, we would not, I don't know of a room that would fit them. Yeah. Like, it'd have to be like an arena to fit them, and it would be a shitload of people. Like, I couldn't imagine, and that's where somebody said that to me, like, when you start out and you get 50 people listen to an episode or 100 people listen to an episode, and somebody's like, damn, only 50 or 100. And they're like, well, just imagine if 50 to 100 people showed up just to listen to you talk. Yeah. Like, if they came and just sat in a room listening to you talk, it's like, that's pretty cool. So, but yes, I was kind of trying to look at how much, what we had grown. All right, I can do a range here. This thing's kind of tricky.
Because, we want this thing to keep growing.
That's where, what I was kind of getting at is we're still, what is this year finishing?
We've been doing it 3+ years.
Okay.
Not quite 3.5, yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I think we're
approaching 170. This will be like 167, 168.
Okay.
Like that.
3 to 5 year range is when most shows finally start to take off.
Yeah.
Like some pretty big shows, I think they were about 5 years in before they really started to see pretty big growth. We've seen some pretty substantial growth. And so I very much, I have pretty lofty goals for us as far as, like, I think we should be able to hit some big numbers by this time next year. All right, I was looking. So we have grown I was trying to look monthly. Hell, I don't know how they work this thing. But yes, we've gone. All right, we've probably close. We haven't doubled from last year, but we've increased a pretty good bit. But I think that at this point, I feel like doubling our numbers is doable.
Yeah, you want to put a lofty goal out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, and I could have, as I'm sitting here, I'm like, because I just had a lot of the same goals. But I think I had good goals to hit, and I don't know. You don't want to be hitting all your goals. If you are, you're not
setting them high enough.
You're not setting your goals high enough, or you're just a total badass. And I guess
well, that's where I do want to. I want to 10x our sauerkraut production.
Yeah,
like we did about 100. We probably did 170 jars of sauerkraut this past year, and it was gone. And so, like, I want us to sell over 1,000 jars easily of sauerkraut, and so I want to 10x the sauerkraut.
You got plenty of cabbage planted?
I'm going to plant a shit ton of cabbage because we went through a lot of cabbage. Takes a lot of cabbage to make sauerkraut.
Yeah.
We got some big crocks. We've been buying crocks. We saw a 20. Man, that's a monster. Or 50. There was a 50 on Facebook for sale. Have you ever seen a 50?
Is it a 50 liter? Or?
I don't know how they. I don't know how they do it. We've got a 10 and a 12, and they're pretty big. But this 50 was like, that's like gargantuan. It may be liters. I'm not sure how they measure them.
Yeah.
But it was like $1,500 because that thing was so. But they're old. They're like that old. They're almost like porcelain or something.
I've got one. I probably ought to give to you to use.
What size is it?
I don't know. I can look when I get home.
Yeah, it should have the little number on it.
It was my father-in-law's.
Really?
because he had told me he's done it before.
Oh, he made kraut?
He didn't do it like every year, but he had done it before, and when, of course, nobody really wanted some of that stuff, and I was like, well, y'all not gonna give that away.
Oh yeah, no, them crocks they're valuable. Like even
like in my mind, I'm like, I might use it one day.
Yeah,
like, I'm not just gonna.
Dad has a smaller one. Because he'll make kraut sometimes out here. Do you like kraut?
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's I don't say, dude. I love my kids love it. Like when
Did you eat some cabbage yesterday for New Year's?
I did eat some cabbage and black-eyed peas.
We had cabbage, black-eyed peas, greens. We had it all.
I love greens, man. Did you put some pepper sauce on them?
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's the only way. See that's another thing, man. Pepper sauce. I've mentioned on here we're going to get into the beef tallow stuff. I've got a 16-pound container of tallow at the house right now. I'll start making some stuff there. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm getting more and more into that kind of the natural, kind of getting more hippy dippy.
Do some homeopathic
cocaine,
maybe. So I guess. I mean, I've never made cocaine, but I mean that's probably all natural.
Yeah, I would think it is, unless you lace it with fentanyl. Because fentanyl's synthetic, ain't it?
Hell, I don't know. I mean, I know what fentanyl is, but I don't know how to make it either.
But is it not a synthetic drug?
I mean, it's an opiate, so, I mean, I guess.
You had to learn about drugs. I've never learned about them.
I mean, a lot of the opiates and all come from the poppy, but I really don't know if it's.
I always just assumed fentanyl was synthetic.
I'm not sure how and I probably don't want to Google that.
How do you make fentanyl?
I have the DEA knocking on my door first thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I know it's some bad stuff, man. Marcy and them see it. They like the kids and stuff come in, in the NICU, and they'll see babies that are like drug babies from their parents being on fentanyl or the mom being on fentanyl and they have a baby.
Yeah.
It's awful. Awful. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I am. I'm like more intrigued by that, which I've thought about this. I'm like, some of the oils and stuff, and I know some of it is just a bunch of hogwash, but at the same time, where I think about it, I'm like, all right, if you can have a plant like poison ivy that if it rubs on the skin, it can cause irritation, like the oil off of the plant causes irritation, why couldn't it be beneficial like certain oils off of the plants?
I think it.
Like aloe, no doubt aloe vera is beneficial.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think anybody would argue with that. I think people that are like, trying to treat like certain diseases and refusing, proven medications because, oh no, we're just going to treat this with essential oils.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand like going through cancer and things where there's not a treatment. Like, yeah, reach for whatever.
Do whatever, yeah.
But, some of these people that are like, it's a religion, like it really is, you know, and they'll, turn down like very proven, safe, and effective medical treatment because no, I'm gonna treat that with essential oils, and then they end up, like having to have their leg amputated. Wouldn't do just, I don't know. I don't have like a perfect example.
No, and I agree. Yeah, I agree, and that's where, but like, that's where I think about something like. Oh, well, I'll tell you one of the things that's funny this weekend. I shared a post you're not on Facebook, but I shared a post about Ozempic. And that's like, dude, you talk about Ozempic. And I mean, we have enough listeners at this point. I'm certain we have some listeners who probably take or have taken.
I guarantee I know a bunch of people that
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. And all I did was share this. It was like a picture of an article, and it was like talking about how Ozempic, they've been doing studies on mice, and it actually shows that it reduces the muscle mass in their heart. And so I just shared that because I've got friends that take it, and I got friends that have taken it and got like messed up, like they've got real sick off of taking it and stuff. So I just shared that. I didn't even say anything. I literally just shared it. Oh man, it was like a hornet's nest of like.
I can only. Because I know people that probably needed it. Like they were at the point where it's like, yeah, like if you don't lose weight and soon, like it's. But then I also know a lot of people that weren't diabetic, like weren't even like, especially by today's standards, like you wouldn't have even said like, you're not even a fat ass.
Yeah.
Like, but they want to lose a little weight and they want that easy button.
Yep.
But and not just women, because you think, oh yeah, well, and I know several of them, but even some dudes, I'm like, bro, like you're not even like you weren't fat to begin with, and like not by what I would consider to be fat, and why are you like quit eating bread and pasta? I've lost about 20 pounds just
quit eating that,
which I kind of had to for other reasons, but yeah, I was like, and hell, I'm sitting here drinking whiskey right now, trying to say I'm perfect. But yeah, whatever. Right. It just.
Well, it is. I mean, it's for people that need it, I'm all for it. But like people that don't need it are just, it's like, man.
Well, I know people because like at one time there was a real shortage of it.
Yeah, the actual people that actually needed it couldn't get it because so many people were taking it for weight loss.
I know people that like they're talking about like, yeah, like, but such and such, they could get it because but they didn't want it, and I'm like, and you're taking it literally just to make it easier for you to diet.
Yeah.
Like just because you can't say no to the donut.
Yep.
Otherwise. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we might have just lost some listeners.
well, like, man.
No. Our listeners are very health conscious and not lazy.
No, for sure. And I said, it's no different. Because I comment on there because people, it was getting heated in the comments on some of them. I basically.
That's pretty much why I'm not on Facebook.
Oh, dude, I pretty much just threw a grenade and then I just didn't get back on there for several hours.
You pulled the pin and walked off.
Yep. And because I had not been on there. And then actually a buddy of mine texted me. I was like, boy, you poked a hornet's nest. And so I was like, oh, yeah. And so then I get on Facebook and I got like 50 comments. And I basically didn't even hardly say anything because other people, it was people arguing back and forth. Like I wasn't even hardly in the argument. But I finally I chimed in a couple of times and I said, Ozempic for weight loss is like, it'd be like if I got on steroids. That's how I look at it. Like I could get on steroids. I would get pretty strong. Like I would gain quite a bit of strength and size pretty quickly. Like I would put on some size and strength pretty fast. I could get on it. I could do that. And years from now, I may never have a problem from it, but I might also have a heart attack in like 12 years and they could trace it back and be like, man, it started when he took the steroids there. Like it did some damage internally, enlarged his heart or this or that. Like, hell, Arnold, he's had like 3 open heart surgeries. I mean, how many, you see all kinds of bodybuilders, they die at the age of like 45. And so I said, it's like steroids to me because there will be people that will take Ozempic. They'll never have trouble. And I hope that's all of them. Like I'm definitely don't wish bad on any of them. I hope that everybody that's taking it is safe and healthy, and I hope that it is a proven thing. But it is a drug and it's got side effects, and years from now they're losing heart mass or muscle mass in their heart and all this stuff. They might have a heart attack at so-and-so or whatever, and they could trace it back to this. So all I'm saying is if you're going to take it, you just got to be aware, like, yeah, there's potential side effects with this.
Well, and again, it goes back to, like, if you're just somebody that's like, man, it's getting close to summertime. I need my beach body, and I need to lose 15 pounds. Like, no, probably not. No. Now, when you need to lose 250 pounds.
You can't even get off the couch.
And like, yeah, like you're at the point where it's like your life expectancy is drastically shortened because you're morbidly obese. Talk to your doctor, but you're probably the person that's like, yep, the risk is worth the reward. Like,
yeah.
Like I'm taking this as a life-saving measure, not just so I can, fit into a swimsuit, and look good.
Well, I read a little thing on it because one of the people commented and they were involved in the medical field, and which I'm even biased there because I'm like, well, you're getting a kickback from them, just like I get kickbacks from certain chemical companies or something, and it's like you're getting a kickback from this pharmaceutical company for using Ozempic or prescribing Ozempic. It's like I can't trust you on this, but they commented on there, this long thing talking about it, and that's where I commented back, and I was like, look, I don't have a problem with somebody that's diabetic needing it, or, you know, whatever, people that need it. But yeah, if you're capable, man, don't do that, because then a lot of those people that are capable and they get on it, they gain it back. But the wild thing was, because this person was like, if these people would do their research, they would know that it's not harmful. So I just spent like 10 minutes Googling and reading different articles. People that get on Ozempic, and again, I share all this. I'm not anti-Ozempic, but I just want people to think about this. They said that on average, it breaks down like you lose 60% fat, but you lose 40% muscle mass off of it. And I've noticed a lot of people that take Ozempic, they get skinny, but they get skinny. You know, they get skinny.
Well, and you don't want people on Ozempic, because as a farmer, you need people eating more.
I do, yeah. Dude, they can't eat shit when they're on that. Like, I had a buddy that he got on it, and he couldn't even.
It was a good friend, or is a good friend. He's still with us.
He died from Ozempic. Yeah.
But I mean, he was like, he's like, I'm not even hungry. Like, I will go to eat with him one day. He's like, I was like, dude, like, you're taking that shit, like, you don't.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, that's how this dude. We went to Burger King one day, and we just got a Whopper, and I like devoured my Whopper. He ate I don't even know that he ate half of the Whopper. He ate probably a fourth of the Whopper, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just full." And he was a big dude, and I said, "Full?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Oh man, I can't eat no more." He said, "If I eat any more, I'll throw up." And I was like, damn, man. And that's where I just can't, like, I don't know. I struggle with it. I'm like, you're starving yourself.
I don't, what's with people, whenever I mention something about like pre-diabetes or whatever, and they're like, they're going to have you taking this or that, or they name some drugs. I'm like, what? I was like, hell no. I was like, they told me about it. And so I just got disciplined with the way I eat. Like and I haven't done anything crazy. Like, I just don't eat bread or pasta or sugar. Like, I mean, and I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I still get to eat, and I still drink beer. You know, I drink light beers, and I
drink some whiskey from time to time.
Still have a damn good time. You know, eating is what I love to eat. But I had to cut out a few little things, and I don't know. I was like, it wasn't that. I just trained myself, and hell, I've been doing it for a couple of years now. It ain't that big of a deal. And I don't have to take any medications at this point. There might come a day when I do, but I want that to be as far down. But if I can control it just by simply, like, I'm not doing crazy stuff with my diet. Like, and not that carnivore diet is crazy. Like, I haven't gone like strict carnivore. I'm just not that disciplined. The idea of going carnivore sounds good until you really try to do it. And you're like, oh man, like, this is hard.
Yeah. Then you have the screaming shits for the first week.
I've heard people say that, even like with keto, and I'm not carnivore at all, but like, I eat a lot higher percentage of my diet is carnivore now, completely animal based versus, of course, obviously, again, I cut out most of my carbs, but I've never had any of the GI issues
really
like that. I don't eat near as much fiber now. And so,
don't take your Metamucil no more.
I have cut that out because, which, even though you're getting obviously a lot of fiber, and so but I've noticed that too. It's like, because I was listening to a podcast the other day, a guy was talking about on carnivore. A lot of people think they get constipated, but it's like most of them aren't constipated. They just you're not going to the bathroom very much because you're not full of all the fiber and just the waste that you don't need. Your body utilizes.
You're just more efficient.
Yeah, your body utilizes almost all that you're eating, and so
that'd be handy.
Yeah, so I have noticed that. I'm like, it's like I don't spend as many moments on the toilet as I used to.
Yeah, we shit about once a week now.
A little more frequently than that.
Oh man, I'd be worried if I got down to that low. I'd be like, I need to go to the doctor.
Well, and this guy was a doctor. He's like, people a lot of times come in because they think they're constipated. It's like, no, you're not constipated. You just don't.
You ain't full of shit no more.
Right. You just don't have to go as much. But Man, we got way off.
We did. Well, hey, I tell you, getting a little cleaner on my diet is a goal of mine for 25. Not crazy, because I want to make something that I can maintain. You know, I ain't going to go to like eating like a bodybuilder and eating, grilled chicken and rice at every meal. And
well, I'll tell you, like going out to eat, it's like you go to a steakhouse, it's pretty easy. You order a steak, and you get the vegetables instead of potato, whatever. But like a lot of places, like you go eat Mexican, like man, because everything comes with rice and beans and tortillas.
Yeah.
You got that bowl of chips and salsa on the table.
Oh yeah, that'd be a tough one for me not to eat.
So when we go eat Mexican, I eat the chips.
Yeah.
I don't usually eat the tortillas, but I eat the chips.
Yeah.
When I first started doing this, I just sit there and just would not touch a chip, and that was tough.
Yeah, that would be brutal.
And I didn't want to be the weirdo that brought in my bag of pork rinds.
Yeah.
Because like at home, when we're eating anything, my wife made like an appetizer, like a buffalo chicken dip the other night.
I love buffalo chicken dip.
They were using tortilla chips, and I was using just plain pork rinds. And that's why I looked at me, and I was like, there's 0 carbs in this.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you try it. Like, to me, I guess because I'm used to it too. I mean,
Pretty good.
And it's the unflavored ones. It's just like, that's just as good as a chip to me. I mean, pretty damn close anyway, and 0 carbs.
There is, and I do feel like one good thing is we live in an age, people like to bitch about the food and different things, but like I feel like we live in an age where if you want to eat clean and eat lean, like there's a lot of options out there.
Oh, there all these fad diets and everything. Like, man, yeah, especially if you might have to go to a big specialty grocery store, which of course I've made it known on here. I only shop at Nafy's. And not that they don't have a great selection. I'm not saying that at all. I think if they don't have it, you probably don't need it. But if I am looking for some of that kind of hippie, like super specialized, like keto-friendly cereal or whatever, you can order it. You can order almost any of that stuff and get it shipped right to your door. It's pretty easy to kind of eat in a real specific way if you want to.
Well, that is a goal of mine for 25. My problem is I'm always wanting to get bigger. So like it's hard to, because
I'm as light as I've been, and
see, that's the thing.
I was in high school.
Eating lean, when I've gone through little spurts where I'll be like, I'm going to eat lean, and I eat lean, I start losing weight like pretty quickly, and I don't want to lose weight. Like I don't really want to be like right now. What do you weigh right now?
Like 179.
I'm right at about 237.
Yeah.
And like I like this. Actually, if it was up to me, I'd be a lean 250. Like, and that's kind of a goal I'd like to get for about 25. I'd like to walk around about 250 pounds, but I'd like to be, I could hit 250 pretty quick if I didn't give a shit about what the 250 pounds looked like. Yeah. But yeah, that's the hard thing, man. It's hard to like bulk up, in a lean fashion. I feel like you can do it. Obviously you can do it, but yeah, you're eating. I used to work with a guy. He was a bodybuilder, and when we got there, we'd have a morning break, a lunch, an afternoon break, and then get to go home. At morning break, he would eat a plate of chicken and rice. And then at lunch, he would eat a plate of chicken and rice. And then at break, he would eat a plate of chicken and rice. He would eat chicken breasts and like white rice or something. All day long. And I would want to ram my head into a wall eating like that. Like I like a little bit of difference, man. I don't want to eat the same thing all the time. So, and I know some of the dudes that do carnivore big time. Sean, whatever his name is.
Sean Baker, yeah.
He eats steak like all the time. I love steak.
He eats pretty much nothing but ribeyes. Because people, I think he'll eat a little shrimp.
Yeah.
He might do some eggs.
See, and I love, we had steaks tonight. I love steaks, but I would be so tired of a steak if I ate a steak at like every meal all the time. Yeah,
a lot of times what I have to do is like tonight we had burgers. Of course, I didn't eat a bun. I had a big old burger patty. I put 2 fried eggs on top of it. I had some cheese. And then I had some chicken thigh fillets. I ate like 3 chicken thigh fillets.
Oh, really?
So I had a hell of a lot of protein.
Yeah. Well, see, and actually
because I can't, like, I need a side item.
Yeah.
But instead of me having a side of French fries, I had a side of
protein.
chicken.
Yeah. Well, and that sticks with you more. Protein is just a lasting, and it's not that hard to not eat with a bun. Like we've grilled burgers a few times here lately, and I'll be like, hell, I'm not gonna eat with the bun, and I'll eat like 2 burger patties. I'll usually cook me 2 burgers, and don't eat a bun. And I've even done the little thing before with the lettuce, where you basically make you like a lettuce bun.
I've done that, but yeah, I just eat it with a fork.
Well, that's how I did it the last
like
time.
A hamburger steak.
Yeah, and it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I love bread. Like I love bread. Like that'd be a.
And I'll put, like, a lot of times put like ketchup on there, which I know ketchup's got, sugar in it, but
yeah,
I'll go light on that.
So you don't drink sweet tea then?
No, I went to 100%. If I'm drinking tea, it's unsweet.
Oh man, that would be probably the hardest.
Which
part.
I do that, like, well, usually if we go eat Mexican, it's for dinner and I'm drinking beer.
Yeah.
Which I'll drink the light beer. I don't get the Dos Equis Amber.
Yeah.
But or if we go for lunch, I'll get an unsweet tea. But most days at lunch, I just drink water.
I could probably go half and half.
Man, that's just, I mean, that is sugar. Like, that's one thing that I am an absolute no-go. No sugar.
I know, but it's so good. Sweet tea.
We had a client brought us a bunch of donuts today. I didn't touch them. My kids ate my share.
Did they? And I love donuts.
They came by this morning and this afternoon. I think they ate a donut both times since they weren't all gone.
I love donuts. So you don't ever cheat on some sugar?
So, like, over Christmas, I'm trying to think.
Because dessert is my weakness.
Well, your mom had some chest squares.
Yeah.
And I ate like half of one.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that was probably like 80 grams of carb.
Were you a dessert guy?
So desserts were never like my weakness, but like certain things, like, oh yeah. And I'm like not in moderation when it was something I wanted.
Yeah.
Like just eating like birthday cake. I'm like, nah, like I'm not, but like certain things. Oreo balls, you ever had any of those?
Man, yeah, I love them things.
Oh, god dang.
With the white white coating. Yeah, them things are
mean,
awesome. Man.
Somebody at our office, actually I know who it is, whenever we'd have like a potluck or a little holiday gathering, would make those, and I'd eat like 12 of them.
Yeah. Oh, they're awesome. They are so good. Yeah. No, I'm that way with.
I wonder why I ended up pre-diabetic.
Well, I am awful with dessert. Like if we just don't have it. Marcy does not cook dessert. So like we don't, I mean, she can, she's a great cook at dessert, but we don't keep it in the house because if we have it, I am going to eat it.
Me and the kids, and it's kind of one of the things I miss about, like, I used to do with my kids. I used to make cookies.
Yeah.
Like probably once a week.
Yeah.
Like either chocolate chip or peanut butter cookies.
Yeah.
Oh man. And as soon as those things come out of the oven, I'd put like 3 of them in a bowl.
Put ice cream in there.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
3 big old scoops of ice cream. God dang, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do miss, yeah.
Yeah. I go to Mount Zion about once a week and get a cookie, and I'll heat it up in the microwave and I'll put some ice cream on it sometimes.
Oh yeah, like
a chocolate chip cookie with some ice cream when it's hot. That is.
I mean, I can just eat them with a big old tall glass of milk.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the cookie or the ice cream is just
a cookie a la mode is.
Yeah. Yeah. If I go lean, I'm gonna do like The Rock, where he's real lean for 6 days, and then like one day is just an unbelievably ungodly cheat day.
And see, sometimes I'm like, man, I can do this once a week, but then I'm like, but if I don't, I'm that much further ahead.
Yeah.
And so, even through the holiday, like I didn't, like we had like twice baked potatoes with our prime rib. I'm like, yeah, I ate all that.
Oh yeah, love that.
But I didn't. Yeah, I stay away. The sweets, bread, and pasta, I pretty much cut out.
I could cut out the pasta. I think I could cut out the bread, but sweets be a tough one.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, guys, there's your goals and diet plan for you for 2025. Yeah, for me, it's survive, get stronger, and find an income off the farm. It's basically mine summed up.
When you say off the farm, you mean not the farm store or anything?
I mean something completely unrelated to agriculture in any way, shape, or form. Like that's like I don't know. Who knows? Like the audiobook narration or voiceover or something, or a journeyman plumber. I don't, that's not something I plan to do. I think I told y'all how much I hated doing that. But something totally unrelated to ag.
Yeah, you got a big truck and a low boy. You get your CDL and.
I know. That's like
my tractor left yesterday.
Did it?
Which that guy, obviously he's got a lot of costs tied up in it, but I know what it cost. What the guy that I sold it to said it was going to cost him to get it up there.
About $1,400.
Said 1,800.
1,800.
Because of course he wasn't. He was empty one way, and he said, "Of course, they hate that."
Deadhead.
And but I don't know.
I've told Marcy.
He had a cool truck.
What do you have? Peterbilt. 379.
Man, I don't know. You might have to watch my YouTube.
I have to look. 389 or 379 if it's the cool one. Long nose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Have rounded headlights, or were they square?
Oh, hell, Logan. It was black. He had an aluminum trailer.
Was it a detach or?
No, it was a deck over.
I got you. What a loser.
Well, he's got, I would imagine he might have he's like, I brought my little, because it was just that one track putting on there.
Man, I think it's a.
I was a little nervous, because normally, like, I was like, you put it on, he's like, no, I'll drive it up there.
Made you do it?
I was like, oh, hell, I don't know. Which that reminds me, I need to call and cancel it off my insurance.
I had to drive the Peterbilt up on that one, and I was nervous as a whore in church. I had to unload it. I'll tell you a funny thing. Whenever I bought that, because, I bought that 359.
It wasn't on a detach?
It wasn't on a detach. And the dude that brought it, hell, I'd never even drove a 359. I'd had a 379. I got a W9 Kenworth. Like, I drove plenty of semis, but I didn't know anything about a 359 because these are old. It was 81 model. And dude pulls up, and I made him pull over in the neighborhood over there because he didn't think he could get in here.
Yeah.
So he pulls over there, and so he's on that slope drive, like the road is slants down pretty hard. And he's sitting there, and he's like,
"You're gonna get an HOA violation."
Oh man, I wish they would have said something. But hell, he gets up in the truck, or he's like unchaining it, and I said, "You're gonna unload it, aren't you?" Because it had just the ramps, and he was like, I was gonna let you unload it," and I was like, "I was planning on you unloading the truck, and I'll drive it over there." And he gets up in there and he's like, "Oh, okay." And he's kind of like, he's not an Indian guy, but he's not like he's something. He's something. I couldn't tell.
He's something.
He's something. But he was like, because he almost acted like he didn't understand me at first. And so I was like, man, he was driving like a Volvo truck. And so he gets up in the truck and he's looking all around. And I'm like standing down there watching.
He's never driven one either.
He's never drove a manual.
Oh, he's got the automatic.
Automatic, because he's looking around, and I see him like grab the lever, and he looks like he's lost as shit. And
lost his last year's Easter.
Yes, I said, "Do you know how to drive that thing?" And he looked at me and he said, "No," and I was like, "Well, get out and let me get it off the trailer." And so then I get up in there. Well, it had a fuel shut off on it switch, and I couldn't find the damn switch. So I like turn the key, and it's got a push button crank over here, and I'm burning the starter up. I'm like, damn, this truck won't even crank. And then I just see a little switch, and I flip it, and it fired right up. But man, I was so nervous backing that thing off of that truck, and
not to back it off.
Yeah, and then when I sold it, the dude that was coming to get it, he was like, "You're gonna load it," and I was like, "Nah, you load it." And he's like, "No, you load it." And so I had to load it too, and I was like, "Gosh, dang it!" So I tell you, I love that detach, but I have told Marcy, I said, if something ever drastic happened, I said I would just get my CDL and take the old purple truck or something out on the road with that low boy, because I love that trailer.
I think just getting loads. Like, just doing stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if that would ever be, like, completely steady work. But, yeah.
I wouldn't want to be gone a ton. I don't want to be like a
this guy
5
was
day a
gone
week.
back home. Which he had to have left Louisville at, like, 2:30 in the morning.
Ooh, yeah. I think
because he talked to me the day before. He's like, if I leave about 3, he's like, I'll be there between 9 and 10. He texted me at 7:30, said, I'm an hour out.
Dang.
I was like, all right, man.
Well, a lot of them truckers, they like to brag about how early they leave.
Yeah.
They go to bed at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, but they're like, yeah, I left out at 2 this morning. Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, that's surpassing farm income, but I don't know. As of right now, I don't plan on getting my CDL, but and I won't say never. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be I don't know. Yeah, just hauling, like even just hauling grain during harvest, for, I don't know.
Well, come on out. I'll let you haul some grain this year.
I'm not looking for, I've already got all farm income.
But you said you think it'd be cool. I'll let you drive. You can drive the automatic, get you a whole load in.
Well, I don't even have a truck.
No, I got a truck. You use my automatic.
You know what? I might put that as a goal for this
year. Yeah, there you go. You need it, and you could make you a cool video.
And I don't have to have a CDL or anything?
No, you driving for a farmer. You ain't got to know that. You know how to pull a trailer. Hell, that's all Derek knew how to do.
Yeah.
It's an automatic. I mean, you literally get in it and...
Well, hell, if I'm going to drive one, I don't know that I want to drive an automatic.
Well, I mean, I'll put you in purple.
No, that's part of the cool.
Oh, it's so much cooler. I mean, when
that's why I love driving my Jeep. Just that little thing, like.
Oh, you feel like I feel like
my dad's got that new Jeep that's automatic. I'm like, that doesn't even count.
No,
like, that's not even a Jeep. They need
it when I go from. I mean, like the T880 is my automatic, and it's great. Like, and it turns super short. It's a short nose, and it's a stout truck. It's got 450 horsepower. But it's so nice. I mean, you're just driving it like a pickup truck. But it is something like, I feel like my dick gets a little bigger when I get in my W9, because it's like damn near got 600 horsepower. And then you're shifting gears, and just to be like stupid like I am, I put an extension on the shift. Like, so that, you're shifting up here, and I also... Like, I let all the air out of the seat. So I'm like sitting down in there. So, cause I'm like a super trucker, that's how cause them dudes that like David Nugent, man, I'll never forget. Did you ever meet him?
No.
David used to haul for us, and he was like the first like cool ass trucker that I remember. Like, he hauled years ago some grain down the river bottom, and he had a murdered out Peterbilt 379. He rolled up in there. It had like an 18 speed in it. And like, you could barely even see him in there, which the windows are murdered out black. But I rode with him in the granary one time. I was like, man, I'm gonna see how this thing's like, and all the shit. His arms like up here, like shifting the gears, and he's down.
I think that would get old after a while.
It's not too bad. Which you don't rest your arm on it, because it can wear out some of the stuff. Right. But like, it was just so damn cool. And like, I remember we went, he had like a black rubber duck for the hood ornament up there. And oh man, like while we were at Cargill, some dude came up and I was like, hey man, mind if I take a picture of your truck? And he's like, no man, go ahead. And like, I was like, this is just a cool ass truck. So that's how, man, every time now I let all the air out of the seat, and I'm down in there. And it's funny, we got some older guys that drive for us some, and man, when I get in after them, if I like have to move my truck or drive it, shit, I can't even get my legs in there, because they'll have the seat up so high. They're like sitting way up in them things. Like,
yeah.
So no, you barely see me when I'm in one. Like, I'm down in that thing. So no, hell, I'll let you drive either one. I don't care.
40-foot trailer.
40-foot trailer. Yep.
I was said that it's really not that much longer than like our big gooseneck horse trailer.
Yeah. The nice thing with the white truck is it's like 190-inch wheelbase or something, maybe even less than that, 180. The purple truck's a 240-inch wheelbase. So she's stretched out there pretty good. Makes it drive nice. Like, it just handles, I mean, it just handles a load really well. Like, it's a big truck. And yeah, you just feel like, I mean, I got straight pipes on it. And I mean, the dude that drove for me this past season, he loved that truck because it would beat anybody on the road. Like, he knew how to drive one. He was a cattle hauler back in the day, so he knew all about it. He had a 359 that he totaled. Dude, going to Cargill, there's this Nanky Hill. You know Nanky Hill. For our listeners that don't know, it's like I don't know, what is a grade? It's not like crazy, but it's just a long hill. Like, it's a sustained incline for quite a while. And Oh, man, every time he'd go to the granary, he'd come back and he'd be bragging about just eating somebody's lunch on that hill. He'd be like, man, I'd come on Nanky Poo. He said, be 1 or 2 trucks. He said, he'd be trying like hell. He said, shit, I'd grab another gear and just pass them on the hill. He said, I wouldn't even, my RPMs never even dropped. And so, yeah, it's very much something about a big truck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, you got one?
I got a company we can do, yeah.
All right, because I don't think I got one.
Let me see. Like I say, this damn new phone.
That's a bad thing. When you have a bad year on the farm, I don't have a lot of funds to be buying a lot of American-made stuff right now.
Well,
I might start doing like an Arbor Freight special.
Yeah. Let's do a made in China.
Made in China.
Sure got my volume up.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
That was a failed goal of ours for 24.
It was, to get him on the board. Well, that needs to be another goal. We'll have him right there on the board for 25.
Yeah, we'll replace this the harp.
Yeah, I don't think we use the harp very often.
Which one? Or the crickets is really bad. This don't even sound like crickets to me. That's a terrible cricket sound.
Yeah.
Like the harp is more usable than that one, I feel like. I use that one. Use the drums and the cheer. We got some laughing. I'd be more inclined to use, either the crickets or, I don't know, probably the crickets.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do it with crickets. So, actually, I did not buy this item, but my mother-in-law actually gave this to me for Christmas. Socks.
Okay.
She
not darn tough.
No, not darn tough. Darn toughs are made in USA. We've featured them before.
In Vermont.
These are, it's 1902 brand by World's Softest.
Okay.
Because when you go to worldsoftest.com, they have different brands underneath, I guess, their main company.
Yeah.
Just as I was clicking through them, not all of them are made in USA. But
gotcha.
I was like, well, I know the ones I've got because I said that on literally the tag, but those right there are made in USA.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, some of their socks are made in USA.
So she knew, she was like, he's a fan of the American made.
I think, I'm sure she doesn't. I mean, it's not by accident. It seems like every year I get some little thing from her that is actually made in the USA.
That's cool.
So, yeah. I've worn them already once. Can't say how durable they are because, again, I've only worn them once.
What's the website?
Worldsoftest.com.
Okay, worldsoftest.com. Yeah. 1902.
Like walking on clouds.
Does it feel like you're walking on a cloud?
I mean, they're comfortable. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever just got up and oh my God, that's right, I'm not walking on a cloud.
Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't know if
my feet are still on the ground.
I thought you were gonna say, have you walked on a cloud?
Nah. No,
That's sad.
I keep my feet on the ground.
That's sad.
Never walked on water. I'm not Jesus.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, they got some cool ones like those. Those got shotguns on.
Hey, I got those this year.
The hell, they're made in USA. You didn't even notice.
I ain't worn them. I just got them for Christmas. I just took the tag off yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I got those. I guarantee you. When I get home, I'm going to look. I guarantee you that's the ones.
It says 1902 on the toes.
All right, I will. Yeah. I guarantee it because that's exactly what they look like. My mom got them for me for Christmas.
Yeah, well, mine have ducks on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's funny as hell. I'll look 1902 on there.
You have to give your mom props.
I will. Got me some.
That's the ones I got. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, check that out. Well, guys, hey, I want to know some of y'all's goals. I want you to comment either on our YouTube or send it to us on Spotify. I know we got a lot more listeners on the audio than we do on the YouTube. Go and you can submit it on our Spotify in the comments, or go to a Talk Dirt podcast and let us know some of your farm goals. What you got, what you're planning, whether you're just getting started, you're going to buy your first cow, you're going to buy your 1,000th cow, or you're going to sell $500,000 worth of whatever. Let us know. We want to hear your story and what you got going on. Because like I said, I think we got pretty big goals for 25. It's with the show especially. And we're not slowing down at all on the show. Hell, I mean, the show is done better than row cropping has. So I feel like there's still a demand for the show. So we're going to keep pushing the hell out of the show and keep growing it as hard as we can. So, guys, comment, let us know all that. Continue to leave us ratings and reviews. We're very close to 600, but we need to get to 1,000. That's a good goal. Let's get to 1,000. Let's double our numbers. I think it sounds pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, hey, y'all check out agzaga.com. Use that discount code. Talk Dirt, all caps, all one word. Be like me. Go ahead and get your bayonet wrap. I think the 8% off sale ended end of the year. Hopefully some of y'all got those orders in before then. But if you hadn't, you still get the 10% off using the Talk Dirt discount code. All the other good stuff you need. We got the winter storm is coming.
Yeah.
You need an extra hose because you know you're going to leave one of them hooked up and it's going to get frozen. Those Flexzilla garden hoses.
You could never have too many hose.
Yeah. I got hose in different area codes. Who's that, Ludacris?
Oh shit! I think that might be. That's an old one, man. Yeah, that's old school.
But yeah, no. Agzaga has all the hose you need, all the Flexzilla hose, everything, all the other good stuff. Always 10% off using that discount code.
Yep, do it. Check it out. Use it, guys. Hope you have an awesome new year. And like I said, let us know what some of your goals are, and let's get after it.
Yeah, our friends up north of us, y'all don't get froze up. Watch out for the ice storm, whatever. Snow, whatever's coming.
Warm up with a bottle of whiskey and some Talk Dirt. They can listen in on their.
That's right.
They'll be
trapped in the house. Just flip us on the YouTube or pull us up on your
emergency radio that you got to hook up to your generator because you won't have any power.
There you go.
There you go, guys. All right, catch y'all next week.